From the vast reaches of space to the tiniest particles, here are 5 amazing facts about the universe that will leave you in awe. Number 5. The observable universe. Did you know that the observable universe is estimated to be about 93 billion light-years in diameter? That's mind-bogglingly huge. And yet, it represents only a tiny fraction of the entire universe, leaving us to wonder about the mysteries beyond our cosmic horizon. Number 4. Dark matter and dark energy. Believe it or not, ordinary matter, the stuff we're made of, makes up just a small fraction of the universe. The rest is comprised of mysterious substances known as dark matter and dark energy. While we can't see them directly, their presence is inferred through their gravitational effects on visible matter and cosmic expansion, respectively. Number 3. Black holes. Black holes are some of the most extreme and enigmatic objects in the universe. They're regions of space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape their grasp. They come in various sizes, from stellar mass black holes formed by the collapse of massive stars to supermassive black holes lurking at the centers of galaxies, millions or even billions of times the mass of our Sun. Number 2. The multiverse theory. Ever pondered the possibility of parallel universes? According to some theories in cosmology, such as the multiverse theory, there could be countless other universes existing alongside our own, each with its own set of physical laws and properties. It's a mind-bending concept that challenges our understanding of existence itself. Number 1. The expansion of the universe. Perhaps one of the most mind-blowing discoveries in modern cosmology is the realization that the universe is expanding. And not only that, but the rate of expansion is accelerating. This phenomenon, driven by dark energy, suggests a future where galaxies drift farther and farther apart, eventually fading from view, leaving a cold and dark cosmos in their wake. There you have it, 5 mind-blowing facts about the universe that remind us just how vast, mysterious, and awe-inspiring our cosmos truly is. Which fact blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to keep looking up at the stars, for there's always more to discover in the great cosmic dance of the universe.
Number 5. The Lascaux Cave in southwestern France. The Lascaux Cave in southwestern France is a renowned Paleolithic cave system famous for its stunning prehistoric cave paintings and engravings dating back around 17,000 years. It is considered one of the most important archaeological sites for understanding early human artistic expression and culture. However, you should not visit the original Lascaux Cave itself. After its accidental discovery in 1940 and subsequent opening to the public in 1948, the influx of visitors and their exhaled carbon dioxide, heat, and humidity caused severe damage to the delicate prehistoric artwork on the cave walls. As a result, the cave was closed to the public in 1963 to protect and preserve the priceless artworks. Number 4. Snake Island, Brazil. Snake Island, officially known as Ilha de Queimada Grande, is a small island located about 90 miles off the coast of Brazil in the Atlantic Ocean. It has gained notoriety for being home to an extremely dense population of golden lancehead vipers, one of the deadliest snake species in the world. Snake Island is an extremely dangerous place, earning it the reputation as one of the deadliest islands in the world. Visiting this island would be an unnecessary and life-threatening risk, which is why it is strictly off-limits to the general public. Number 3. Pripyat. Pripyat, Ukraine was a city built in the 1970s to house workers for the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant. It became a ghost town after the catastrophic nuclear accident at Chernobyl on April 26, 1986, which forced the permanent evacuation of its residents. The city lies within the Chernobyl exclusion zone, an area of around 1,000 square miles that was evacuated and remains off-limits to unsanctioned civilians due to dangerous radiation levels. Even over 35 years after the accident, radiation hotspots exist throughout Pripyat where exposure could be hazardous to human health. Number 2. North Sentinel Island, Andaman Islands, India. North Sentinel Island is a remote and isolated island located in the Andaman Islands, a part of the Indian Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. It is home to the Sentinelese tribe, one of the world's last remaining uncontacted indigenous communities. The Sentinelese are fiercely hostile towards outsiders and have violently resisted all contact attempts, killing several people who tried to approach or land on the island. Number 1. Area 51. Area 51 is a highly classified United States Air Force facility located in the remote Nevada desert, about 83 miles, 134 kilometers, north of Las Vegas. It is an active military installation that has been the focus of numerous conspiracy theories and myths, particularly related to extraterrestrial life and UFOs. Area 51 is off-limits, with strict security measures in place to protect classified operations and personnel. Attempting to visit or trespass on the base is illegal, dangerous, and could potentially put your life at risk. It is strongly advised to respect the restrictions and stay away from the area.
Welcome back. Today, we're counting down the top 5 deadliest animals on Earth. These creatures may look fascinating, but they pack a punch that can be lethal. Let's dive right in. Number 5. The box jellyfish. The box jellyfish, class Cubozoa, are a group of highly venomous marine invertebrates known for their cube-shaped bodies and potent venom. They are considered among the most venomous creatures on Earth, and stings from certain species can be fatal to humans. The venom works by rapidly punching holes in red blood cells and causing elevated potassium levels, which can quickly lead to cardiac arrest and death if enough venom is injected. Even a minor sting can be painful. Another factor that makes them hazardous is their ability to move rapidly by contracting their bell-shaped bodies, unlike most jellyfish which simply drift on currents. They also have a sophisticated visual system with 24 eyes, allowing them to better detect and track prey. Additionally, many box jellyfish species are nearly transparent, making them extremely difficult to spot in the water until it's too late. While found in warm ocean waters around the world, the most dangerous and lethal species are concentrated in the tropical Indo-Pacific region, particularly off the coasts of northern Australia, Southeast Asia, and the Philippines. In these areas, box jellyfish are responsible for numerous deaths each year due to the combination of their extreme venom and lack of rapid medical treatment. Number 4. The saltwater crocodile. The saltwater crocodile, Crocodylus porosus, is the largest living reptile species in the world, with males capable of reaching over 20 feet in length and weighing up to 2,200 pounds. They are apex predators found in coastal regions from eastern India to northern Australia and throughout Southeast Asia. While fatalities from saltwater crocodile attacks are relatively low in numbers, they are among the most dangerous crocodilian species to humans due to their size, predatory behavior, and aggression towards anything that enters their territory. Avoiding their habitats is strongly advised to prevent potential deadly encounters. Number 3. The African elephant. African elephants are the largest land mammals on Earth, with the savanna elephant species being slightly larger than the forest elephant species. While their sheer size and strength can make them potentially dangerous to humans, African elephants are generally peaceful animals that pose little threat unless provoked or threatened. Elephants may become aggressive and attack humans in certain situations, such as when they feel their calves are endangered, when they are startled or harassed, or when their habitat is encroached upon by human activities like farming or development. This human-elephant conflict often arises when elephant migration routes or habitats overlap with human settlements and agricultural lands. Elephants may raid crops, damaging the livelihoods of local communities, which can lead to retaliation against the elephants. However, unprovoked attacks on humans are relatively rare. Elephants are intelligent, socially complex animals that play vital roles in maintaining the biodiversity of the ecosystems they inhabit through seed dispersal and other ecological functions. Their populations have declined dramatically due to poaching for ivory and habitat loss, leading to their classification as endangered, savanna elephant, and critically endangered, forest elephant, by the IUCN. Human activities like illegal poaching, habitat fragmentation from agricultural expansion, and human-elephant conflict pose the greatest threats to African elephant populations, not the elephants themselves. Conservation efforts aim to protect these keystone species by combating poaching, preserving migration corridors, and promoting coexistence between humans and elephants. Number 2. The mosquito. Mosquitoes are small flying insects that belong to the family Culicidae. They are known for their ability to transmit various diseases to humans through their bites. Mosquitoes are found in almost every region of the world, except Antarctica. There are over 3,500 species of mosquitoes, but only a handful of them are responsible for transmitting diseases to humans. These diseases are known as mosquito-borne diseases or vector-borne diseases. Mosquitoes are dangerous to humans primarily because they can transmit various deadly diseases through their bites. When a mosquito feeds on the blood of an infected human or animal, it can ingest disease-causing pathogens such as viruses, parasites, or bacteria. These pathogens can then be transmitted to the next person or animal the mosquito bites. In addition to transmitting diseases, mosquito bites can also cause skin irritation, allergic reactions, and discomfort due to the itching and swelling they can cause. Human activities such as urbanization, deforestation, and climate change have contributed to the spread of mosquito-borne diseases by creating favorable breeding grounds for mosquitoes and facilitating their movement across regions. Number 1. Humans. Humans are a unique species that have become the dominant force on planet Earth due to their intelligence, adaptability, and technological prowess. However, these very traits that have enabled humans to thrive have also made them one of the most dangerous species to the planet and its ecosystems. Humans possess an unparalleled ability to manipulate their environment through the development of complex tools and technologies. This has allowed them to exploit natural resources at an unprecedented rate, leading to widespread environmental degradation, habitat destruction, and the extinction of countless species. Their insatiable demand for energy and resources, coupled with a sense of superiority over nature, has pushed the Earth's life support systems to the brink of collapse. Moreover, humans have demonstrated a remarkable capacity for violence and self-destruction. Wars, conflicts, and the pursuit of power have resulted in immense suffering and loss of life throughout human history. Their ability to create devastating weapons and their willingness to use them against their own kind make humans a formidable threat, not only to other species but also to themselves. The root cause of this danger lies in humans' unique combination of intelligence and lack of restraint. Unlike other animals that operate within the natural limits of their ecosystems, humans have consistently pushed beyond these boundaries, driven by a relentless desire for progress and domination. This hubris has led to the depletion of finite resources, the disruption of delicate ecological balances, and the potential for catastrophic consequences on a global scale. And there you have it, the top 5 deadliest animals on Earth. Some are dangerous due to their physical capabilities, others because of the diseases they spread, and some due to their impact on the environment and society. If you enjoyed this video, welcome back. Today we delve into the shadows to uncover the top 5 most terrifying real-life horror stories. These tales are not for the faint of heart, and viewer discretion, as always, is strongly advised. Number 5. The Mothman of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The Mothman is a legendary creature that was reportedly seen in the Point Pleasant area of West Virginia between November 15, 1966 and December 15, 1967. The first sighting was made by 5 people who claimed to see a large winged creature with glowing red eyes near an abandoned World War II munitions plant. The Mothman is described as a humanoid creature around 7 feet tall with large wings and glowing red eyes. Some witnesses reported it having no visible head or arms. Over a period of 13 months, there were over 100 reported sightings of the Mothman by locals and visitors in the Point Pleasant area. Many sightings occurred around the abandoned munitions plant and the area where the Silver Bridge collapsed in 1967, killing 46 people. Some believe the Mothman was an omen or harbinger of the Silver Bridge disaster. Others think it was a paranormal being from another dimension or a previously undiscovered cryptid species. Number 4. The Bell Witch. The Bell Witch is one of the most famous and mysterious supernatural occurrences in American history. The legend centers around the Bell family, who lived in Adams, Tennessee, in the early 19th century. The haunting began in 1817 and continued until 1821, involving a series of unexplained and terrifying events. The haunting began with strange noises, such as knocking on walls and doors, and the sound of chains being dragged across the floor. The Bell family also reported hearing faint, whispering voices that were too weak to understand but sounded like an old woman singing hymns. The entity, which came to be known as the Bell Witch, began to physically attack members of the Bell family, particularly John Bell and his daughter Betsy. Betsy was pinched, slapped, and had her hair pulled by an invisible force. John Bell experienced episodes of swelling in his throat and felt like a stick was stuck sideways in his throat. The Bell Witch was said to be a shapeshifter, appearing in various forms such as a dog, bird, and rabbit. This ability to change shape added to the terror and mystery surrounding the entity. The haunting culminated in the mysterious death of John Bell in 1820. It is said that the Bell Witch claimed responsibility for his death, having poisoned him with a vial of black liquid. After his death, the witch's activity decreased significantly, although it did not cease entirely. Number 3. The Black-Eyed Children. Imagine answering a knock at your door late at night, only to find children with pitch-black eyes staring back at you. These entities, known as the Black-Eyed Children, have been reported across the globe. Witnesses describe an overwhelming sense of dread and an inexplicable urge to let them inside. But those who do often regret it, as these encounters are said to bring misfortune and terror. Black-eyed children, also known as black-eyed kids, are a contemporary urban legend in American folklore. These entities are described as paranormal creatures that resemble children between the ages of 6 and 16 with pale skin and completely black eyes. They are often reported to be seen hitchhiking, begging, or appearing on the doorsteps of residential homes, asking to be let inside. The legend of the Black-Eyed Children is believed to have originated from a series of posts by Texas reporter Brian Bethel in 1996. Bethel recounted 2 alleged encounters with black-eyed children, one in Abilene, Texas, and another in Portland, Oregon. These stories quickly gained popularity and became classic examples of creepypasta, horror-related legends shared on the internet. The legend was further popularized through various media. In 2012, Bethel shared his story on the reality TV series Monsters and Mysteries in America and wrote a follow-up article for the Abilene Reporter News. The same year, a horror film titled Black-Eyed Kids was produced with Kickstarter funding, which helped spread the legend further. In September 2014, the British tabloid Daily Star ran several front-page stories about alleged sightings of black-eyed children, particularly in connection with the sale of a supposedly haunted pub in Staffordshire. These sensationalistic reports claimed a shock rise in sightings around the world, which contributed to the legend's notoriety. Black-eyed children are typically described as having pale skin and completely black eyes devoid of sclera or iris. They often appear in outdated or hooded clothing and exhibit odd speech patterns and behaviors that are unsettling and not typical of children. Number 2. The Enfield Poltergeist. In the late 1970s, the Hodgson family in Enfield, London, experienced a series of terrifying events that would become known as the Enfield Poltergeist. Furniture moved on its own, strange knocking sounds echoed through the house, and the children were levitated and thrown from their beds. Despite numerous investigations, the true cause of these disturbances remains a mystery, leaving many to believe that something truly sinister was at play. The Enfield Poltergeist is one of the most famous and controversial cases of alleged supernatural activity. It took place between 1977 and 1979 at 284 Green Street, a council house in Brimsdown, Enfield, London, England. The events primarily involved two sisters, Janet Hodgson, aged 11, and Margaret Hodgson, aged 13, and were reported by their mother, Peggy Hodgson. The first reported incident occurred in August 1977 when Peggy Hodgson called the Metropolitan Police, claiming that furniture was moving on its own and that her children had heard knocking sounds on the walls. A police constable who responded to the call reported seeing a chair wobble and slide, but could not determine the cause of the movement. Over the next 18 months, more than 30 people, including neighbors, paranormal investigators, and journalists, reported witnessing various phenomena. These included heavy furniture moving on its own, objects being thrown across rooms, disembodied voices, loud noises, and the children levitating several feet off the ground. The case attracted significant attention from paranormal investigators. Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair from the Society for Psychical Research were among the most prominent investigators who believed the haunting to be genuine. Number 1. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. The Dyatlov Pass incident is one of the most enduring and mysterious tragedies in modern history. It involves the unexplained deaths of 9 experienced hikers in the Ural Mountains of Russia in 1959. Here is a comprehensive overview based on the provided sources. In January 1959, Igor Dyatlov led a group of 8 young Soviet hikers, mostly university students, on an expedition to reach Mount Otorten from the settlement of Vazai. The group consisted of 7 men and 2 women. They were found dead under mysterious circumstances about 6 miles from their destination, in a forest nearly a mile from their campsite. The hikers' bodies were discovered over a period of 3 months. They were found in various states of undress, without their skis, shoes, or coats, in temperatures around -30 degrees Fahrenheit. The tent was found torn open from the inside, and their belongings were left behind. 6 hikers died of hypothermia, while 3 had fatal injuries, including fractured skulls and major chest fractures. 1 hiker was missing her tongue. Some bodies had burns, and there were signs that clothing had been exchanged among the group, possibly to help the living survive longer. One theory suggests that a delayed slab avalanche caused the hikers to flee their tent in panic. This type of avalanche can occur even in areas not typically prone to avalanches and could explain the severe injuries. Another theory posits that a powerful katabatic wind, which can reach near hurricane speeds, forced the hikers to abandon their tent. The wind could have caused the tent to collapse, leading to the injuries and the subsequent deaths from exposure. The Kármán vortex street theory. This theory involves severe winds creating a low-frequency sound that induced panic and psychological distress among the hikers, causing them to flee their tent. Some evidence points to a ballistic rocket launch, which may have created a nitric acid fog that killed the hikers. This theory is supported by reports of fireballs in the sky and the presence of radioactive substances on some of the hikers' clothing. Yet another theory suggests that the hikers were accidentally killed during a secret missile test and that the Soviet military covered up the incident. This includes moving the tent and staging the scene to look like a natural disaster. These stories remind us that the world is full of mysteries and horrors that defy explanation. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, one thing is certain: these tales will haunt your dreams. Until next time, stay safe and stay scared.
Welcome back. England is home to some of the most terrifying and ghost-ridden castles in the world. From eerie apparitions to ghostly wails, these castles have it all. So, if you dare, join me as we explore the top 5 creepiest castles in England. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more haunting tales. Number 5. Berry Pomeroy Castle, Devon. Berry Pomeroy Castle is a Tudor mansion dating back to 1560, and it is notorious for its ghostly inhabitants. The castle is said to be haunted by 2 female spirits, the White Lady and the Blue Lady. The White Lady is believed to be Margaret Pomeroy, who was imprisoned in the dungeons by her jealous sister, Eleanor. Visitors have reported seeing her ghost wandering the castle grounds. The Blue Lady, on the other hand, is the daughter of a Norman lord who mourns the loss of her baby, both sired and murdered by her own father. Legend has it that if you hear her cries for help and respond, you will fall to your death. Number 4. Windsor Castle, Berkshire. Windsor Castle is the oldest and largest inhabited castle in Europe, and it has been home to royalty for centuries. However, it is also home to various royal ghosts. Among the spectral residents are Queen Elizabeth I, King George III, King Charles I, and even King Henry VIII. Charles I, who was imprisoned at Windsor Castle before his execution, is said to haunt the castle. His ghostly presence is often accompanied by a black cloud and a swirling blizzard, believed to be a divine sign of his innocence. Number 3. Dover Castle, Kent. Dover Castle has a long history of strategic importance, from pirate raids to World War II. Its battlements are haunted by the ghost of a drummer boy who was beheaded while running an errand. His headless spirit can still be seen beating his drum. The castle's underground tunnels, constructed during World War II, are also said to be haunted. Visitors have reported hearing voices, doors shutting on their own, and sudden drops in temperature. One couple even reported hearing screams and cries of distress, only to find out that no reenactments were scheduled that day. Number 2. Glamis Castle, Scotland. Although not in England, Glamis Castle in Scotland deserves a mention due to its terrifying reputation. Built in the 14th century, it is considered the most haunted castle in the UK, with over 20 reported ghosts. Among the most famous is the monster of Glamis, a deformed child hidden away by the family until his death. Other spirits include a mistreated young servant, a butler who hanged himself, and Earl Beardeye, who is said to play cards with the devil until the end of days. Number 1. Chillingham Castle, Northumberland. Chillingham Castle is often regarded as the most haunted castle in England. Originally a monastery, it became a military stronghold and has a bloody history of battles and executions. The castle is haunted by numerous spirits, including John Sage, a torturer who is seen dragging something heavy behind him. The Blue Boy, who makes wailing cries at midnight, and Lady Mary Berkeley, who wanders the castle looking for her husband, are also among the ghostly residents. The White Lady, who begs for a drink of water, adds to the castle's eerie atmosphere. Visitors can even stay at the castle and join ghost tours, but be warned, it's not for the faint-hearted. And there you have it, the top 5 creepiest castles in England. These castles are not just historical landmarks. They are home to some of the most terrifying spirits and ghostly apparitions. If you ever find yourself near one of these castles, why not see if you can experience the paranormal for yourself? Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay spooky. Welcome back, brave souls. Today, I'm pleased to go diving deep into the dark corners of YouTube to bring you the top 5 videos that'll have you sleeping with the lights on for weeks. Grab a change of underwear and prepare to be terrified. This is the top 5 terrifying YouTube videos that'll haunt your nightmares. Number 5. The Smiling Man. Alright, picture this. It's 2 a.m., you're walking alone on a dimly lit street, and suddenly you see a man smiling. Sounds nice, right? Wrong. This short film based on a real encounter will make you never want to take a late-night stroll again. The way the smiling man moves is so unnatural. It's like he's auditioning for a role in the Ministry of Silly Walks, but forgot it was supposed to be funny. Trust me, You'll be checking over your shoulder for days after watching this one. Number 4. Lights Out. Next up, we have a short film that'll make you terrified of flipping light switches. Lights Out takes a simple concept, a figure that only appears when the lights are off, and turns it into pure nightmare fuel. It's like playing the world's worst game of peekaboo. This short film was so scary, it got turned into a full-length movie. Apparently, 3 minutes of terror just wasn't enough. Number 3. The Backrooms. Found footage. Ever had a dream where you're trapped in an endless maze of ugly yellow wallpaper and fluorescent lights? Well, you're about to. The Backrooms is a creepypasta come to life, showing what happens when you accidentally clip through reality. It's like if IKEA was designed by H.P. Lovecraft. The found footage style makes it feel disturbingly real, and the thing that shows up will haunt your nightmares. Number 2. Dining Room or There Is Nothing. Coming in at number 2, we have a video that'll make you question your sanity. Dining Room or There Is Nothing is an animation that quickly descends into a Salvador Dali painting on acid. The unsettling music and bizarre imagery will stick with you long after watching. Number 1. I Feel Fantastic. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The number 1 spot goes to I Feel Fantastic. This video features a humanoid robot singing a creepy song, and it's about as pleasant as nails on a chalkboard mixed with a dentist's drill. The dead-eyed stare, the uncanny valley appearance, and the unsettling backstory theories make this video the stuff of nightmares. It's like if Siri decided to quit her day job and pursue a career in horror movies. You'll never look at mannequins the same way again. So there you have it, folks. The top 5 scariest videos on YouTube that'll make you question why you ever wanted to watch them in the first place. Hey there, my fearless friends. Ready to explore some of the most horrifyingly haunted locations on the globe? Grab your ghost hunting gear, turn off the lights, if you dare, and let's get into the top 5 most haunted places on Earth. Number 5. The Tower of London, England. First up, we have the infamous Tower of London. This historic fortress has seen its fair share of executions, imprisonments, and general medieval mischief. The ghostly apparitions of the many who lost their lives within the walls can often be seen wandering the creep-inducing grounds. So, if you ever visit, keep an eye out for killed-off queens and spectral soldiers. Just don't lose your head. Number 4. The Stanley Hotel, U.S. Next, we head to Colorado for the Stanley Hotel, the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. This grand old hotel is said to be haunted by its original owners, Freelan Oscar Stanley and his wife Flora, who apparently never checked out. Guests have reported hearing piano music, seeing ghostly figures, and even having their belongings moved around. So, if you decide to stay here, just remember, all work and no play makes Ollie a dull boy. Now where did I put my axe? Number 3. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. Coming in at number 3, we have Aokigahara Forest. Located at the base of Mount Fuji, this dense forest is infamous for its eerie silence and tragic history. Many people have entered the forest, never to return. It's said to be haunted by the spirits of those who passed within this location. If you ever visit, stick to the trails, bring a friend, and please, be respectful to the memory of the deceased. Number 2. The Catacombs of Paris, France. Our runner-up is the Catacombs of Paris, an underground ossuary holding the remains of over 6 million people. These dark, winding tunnels are the stuff of nightmares. Visitors have reported hearing whispers, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. So, if you ever find yourself in Paris, maybe skip the Eiffel Tower and take a tour of the catacombs. Just don't get lost. Number 1. The Island of the Dolls, Mexico. And finally, our top spot goes to the Island of the Dolls. Located in the canals of Xochimilco, this island is covered in creepy, decaying dolls hanging from trees. The story goes that the island's caretaker, Don Julian Santana, began hanging dolls to appease the spirit of a drowned girl. Now, the dolls are said to be possessed by her spirit. Visitors have reported seeing the dolls move and hearing them whisper. If you ever visit, just remember, the dolls are watching. There you have it, folks. The top 5 most terrifying haunted places from around the world. If you enjoy videos that take a journey through the dark side, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, sleep tight, and don't let the haunted dolls bite.
Welcome back to another journey into some of those creepy caves of crazy that still remain a mystery today. If you're new around these parts, don't forget to bludgeon the subscribe button to join our Ookie Kooky Spooky squad. This is the top 5 terrifying real-life mysteries that will keep you up all night. Number 5. The Circleville Letters. Coming in at number 5 is a mystery that'll make you question who's watching you. The Circleville Letters. In the 1970s, residents of Circleville, Ohio, were terrorized by a series of anonymous, threatening letters. These letters didn't just contain idle threats. They exposed the recipient's deepest secrets, from extramarital affairs to hidden pasts. Imagine receiving a letter that not only threatens you, but also reveals secrets you thought were buried forever. The Circleville Letters writer seemed to have an uncanny knowledge of the townspeople's private lives, leading to suspicion and paranoia. Was it a disgruntled neighbor, a scorned lover, or something even more sinister?
Driving around Circleville today would be much like driving around Round Town in the late 1970s. Nothing changes much. In fact, the population continues to go down. There would be one major change, though. Back then, there were the letters. The Circleville Letters.
And a lot of it was vindictive in tone, nasty in tone. There was sexually oriented material or accusations of vulgar is the only way, to really describe them.
The letters were often threatening missives sent to people in Pickaway County. We're not talking about a couple or hundreds, but thousands of letters. They all had the same block lettering, and they would target politicians and leaders, but also just plain folks who had nothing to do with the running of Circleville at all.
Next up at number 4 is the chilling case of the Sodder children. On Christmas Eve in 1945, a fire destroyed the Sodder family's home in West Virginia. 5 of the 9 children went missing, and despite extensive searches, no remains were ever found. Was it a tragic accident or something more sinister? Theories range from kidnapping to mafia involvement. The Sodder family received strange phone calls and witnessed unusual behavior in the days leading up to the fire. At number 3, we have the Hinterkaifeck murders. In 1922, on a remote farm in Germany, 6 members of the Gruber family were brutally murdered with a mattock. The killer lived in the house for days after the murders, eating their food and tending to the livestock. Despite numerous investigations, the case remains unsolved. The Gruber family reported hearing footsteps in the attic and finding strange newspapers on their property. Taking the number 2 spot is a heart-wrenching mystery that still haunts Australia, the disappearance of the Beaumont children. In 1966, 3 young siblings, Jane, Arna, and Grant, vanished from an Adelaide beach, sparking one of the largest police investigations in Australian history. Despite numerous leads and suspects, the children were never found, and the case remains unsolved. The Beaumont children were last seen playing with a tall, blonde man at Glenelg Beach, but they were never seen again. The case gripped the nation, leading to widespread fear and speculation. Theories range from abduction by a stranger to involvement by a family member, but the truth remains elusive. And now the moment that you have all been waiting for, our number 1 terrifying mystery.
Possibly they were ordered out of the car by the responsible, and the boy was shot right at the side of the car, and the girl apparently tried to run, and she was shot and found 28 feet further on.
There was one bullet hole that penetrated one of the windows of the car. Was this a stray bullet, or was this one of the bullets that hit the victim and went on through?
This could be a stray bullet or a warning bullet of some sort. We can't connect it with the bodies, but it's the same type of shell.
Just imagine getting a letter from a killer who taunts the police and the public, knowing he's still out there somewhere. The Zodiac Killer's cryptic messages and unsolved ciphers have kept amateur sleuths busy for decades. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, the Zodiac terrorized Northern California, sending cryptic letters and ciphers to the press. Despite numerous suspects and investigations, the Zodiac Killer was never caught, and his identity remains unknown. And there you have the top 5. Terrifying real-life mysteries guaranteed to keep you up all night. For more like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay spooky. Welcome to our dark exploration of human depravity. Today, we're delving into the twisted world of cannibalistic serial killers. These individuals not only took lives but consumed their victims' flesh, crossing a line that most of us can't even fathom. We'll be counting down the top 5 most prolific cannibal killers, ranked by their confirmed victim count. Be warned, the content of this video is disturbing and not for the faint of heart. At number 5, we have Issei Sagawa, known as the Kobe Cannibal. While Sagawa only has one confirmed victim, his case is notorious for its brutality and the killer's shocking freedom. In 1981, while studying in Paris, Sagawa invited his classmate Renée Hartevelt to his apartment. He shot her, then spent 2 days cannibalizing her body. Sagawa was arrested while attempting to dispose of Hartevelt's remains. Due to legal complications between France and Japan, Sagawa was declared legally insane and deported to Japan. Shockingly, he checked himself out of a mental institution in 1986 and became a free man, even gaining celebrity status. He died from complications of pneumonia at a hospital in Tokyo on November 24, 2022, at the age of 73.
My name, Armin Meiwes. I was born 1961. I'm computer engineer from Rothenburg, Germany. I killed a man, slaughtered him and ate him. Since then, he is always with me.
Number 4 on our list is Armin Meiwes, the Rothenburg cannibal. Meiwes gained notoriety not just for his act of cannibalism, but for finding a willing victim. In 2001, Meiwes posted an online ad seeking a volunteer to be killed and eaten. Bernd Jürgen Brandes responded, and the two met at Mew's home. Meiwes killed Brandes and consumed parts of his body over the next 10 months. Meiwes was eventually arrested and convicted of manslaughter, later changed to murder. He's currently serving a life sentence in Germany. As of 2020, Mae West has been allowed to go outside of prison for supervised excursions in disguise around town in a different state. In prison, Mae West works at the laundry and often attends church service. In 2023, Mew's former home burnt down in what was suspected to be an arson attack. 2 juvenile suspects are under investigation, but no arrests have been made. Our third most prolific cannibal killer is Albert Fish, also known as the Gray Man and the Werewolf of Wisteria. Active in the early 20th century, Fish confessed to the sexual abuse of over 400 children and killing at least 3, though the true number of his victims remains unknown. Fish's most infamous crime was the murder and cannibalization of 10-year-old Grace Budd in 1928. He even sent a letter to the girl's parents detailing how he had prepared and eaten her body. Fish was executed by electric chair in 1936, ending the reign of one of America's most depraved serial killers. Coming in at number 2 is Andrei Chikatilo, the Butcher of Rostov. Operating in the Soviet Union between 1978 and 1990, Chikatilo confessed to 56 murders, though he was tried for 53. Chikatilo's victims were mostly women and children, whom he would lure to secluded areas. He would then mutilate and sometimes cannibalize his victims. Chikatilo claimed his cannibalism was inspired by childhood stories of neighbors resorting to cannibalism during a famine. After a massive manhunt, Chikatilo was arrested in 1990. He was found guilty of 52 murders and executed by firing squad in 1994. Topping our list at number 1 is Jeffrey Dahmer, perhaps the most infamous cannibal killer in modern history. Known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, Dahmer murdered and dismembered 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. Dahmer's crimes went beyond murder. He engaged in necrophilia and cannibalism, preserving body parts and consuming the flesh of his victims. He claimed that eating his victims made him feel as if they were a part of him forever. Dahmer's reign of terror ended in 1991 when a potential victim escaped and led police to Dahmer's apartment. The horrific scene they discovered there shocked even seasoned detectives. Sentenced to 16 life terms, Dahmer was killed in prison by a fellow inmate in 1994. These 5 individuals represent the darkest depths of human cruelty. Their actions remind us of the potential for evil that exists within our species. While their crimes are horrific, studying them can help us understand and prevent such atrocities in the future. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe for more true crime content. Remember, stay safe out there, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to our countdown of the top 5 most terrible real-life teachers. We'll be ranking these rancid sacks of raccoon crap based on the level of their shocking behavior. I'm your host Oliver, and it's time to dive into this pile of human trash. At number 5, a primary school teacher from Southern California took his dislike of skateboarders to extremes. This angry ape pushed over teenage skateboarders, stole their skateboards, and tossed them over a hedge. This teacher claimed divine intervention as his excuse, stating, "When I stepped in, I felt compelled by a higher power. As his Lord and Savior once said, beat the children and steal their crap." While he might have believed he was on a mission from God, his actions were not only unprofessional, but also criminal. Educators should be fostering community relationships, not destroying property and assaulting minors. Coming in at number 4 is a high school English teacher from England who blurred the lines between fiction and reality in a highly inappropriate way. This lonely cat lady wrote an adult novel featuring her students as characters, and published the story online before taking it down. This teacher's creative writing project went far beyond the boundaries of professional conduct. Using students as characters in an adult novel is a clear violation of privacy and trust. It's a reminder that teachers should keep their creative endeavors separate from their professional lives. Our number 3 spot goes to a middle school math teacher from Oklahoma who took field trip to a whole new level. This past her prime princess stuffed 11 students into her Honda Accord, with 2 12-year-old girls riding in the trunk. The destination? Walmart for snacks. While the teacher claimed she just wanted to do something nice for her students, her actions put them at serious risk. No amount of snacks is worth endangering children's lives. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of following safety protocols and obtaining proper permissions for off-campus activities. In second place, we have a 50-year-old math teacher from Brookside Elementary School in Norwalk, Connecticut, who decided to spice up a 5th-grade math class with an impromptu martial arts demonstration. She demonstrated defensive holds during class and performed choke holds on students, which caused one student to pass out. This teacher's actions were incredibly dangerous and completely inappropriate for a classroom setting. As a result, she was charged with strangulation in the 2nd degree, risk of injury to a minor, and reckless endangerment. Hopefully, this kung fu clown has learned to keep her hands to herself. Taking the top spot as the most terrible teacher is Mark Burnt, a California teacher whose crimes spanned years and affected numerous students. This deviant was charged with 23 counts of lewd acts with students between 2005 to 2011. Burnt's crimes came to light when a film processor contacted the police about disturbing images they had seen. The school district agreed to pay $30 million to those affected by their former employees' terrible actions. In 2014, Burnt pleaded no contest and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. It's important to remember that these individuals are the exception, not the rule. The vast majority of teachers are dedicated professionals who work tirelessly to educate and inspire their students. However, these cases highlight the need for rigorous background checks, ongoing oversight, and clear protocols for reporting and addressing misconduct in educational settings. Thanks for watching our countdown of the top 5 most terrible real-life teachers. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more top 5 content like this. And let us know in the comments, what do you think schools can do to prevent such incidents from occurring? Welcome to the top 5 worst elevator accidents ever. At number 5, we have the 41-hour ordeal. Nicholas White's harrowing elevator experience in 1999 is a prime example of how a routine moment can turn into a hellish, life-changing event. On a Friday night in October 1999, Nicholas White stepped out of his office on the 39th floor of the McGraw-Hill building in New York City for a cigarette break. Upon returning, he entered the elevator to go back to his office, but the elevator suddenly stopped between floors. White found himself trapped in the elevator for an astonishing 41 hours. During this time, he had no food, water, cell phone, or watch. His only sustenance was a pack of Rolaids. He relieved himself by urinating down the elevator shaft. He alternated between pacing, lying on the floor, and frantically pressing the alarm button. Finally, on Sunday at 4 p.m., after 41 hours of captivity, White heard a voice on the intercom asking if anyone was there. He was then, finally, rescued. At number 4, we have the decapitated doctor. On August 16, 2003, Dr. Hitoshi Nikaido, a surgical resident, was entering an elevator at Christus St. Joseph Hospital in Houston, Texas. As he was stepping into the elevator, the doors suddenly closed due to faulty wiring. Dr. Nikaido became trapped between the closing doors, with his shoulders and head still outside the elevator car. Tragically, the elevator began to ascend with Dr. Nikaido still caught in the doors. As the elevator moved upward, Dr. Nikaido's head was severed above the jaw. This gruesome accident was witnessed by a female coworker who was already inside the elevator car. The cause of this devastating accident was determined to be miswiring in the elevator's control box during maintenance. Due to this error, the elevator did not detect that its doors were still open and began moving in response to the controller command. At number 3, we have the family. On December 30th, 2019, a family's life was forever changed in Santos, São Paulo, Brazil. 4 members of a family were killed when an elevator at a Brazilian Navy apartment building plummeted from the 9th floor. The cabin had become detached from the cable system, leading to the fatal fall. At number 2, we have the advertising executive. Suzanne Hart, a director for an advertising agency, was boarding an elevator in a midtown Manhattan building when it suddenly ascended with its doors open. She was crushed almost instantly between the elevator and the floor. Investigations revealed that the elevator had undergone maintenance just hours before the incident. A jumper cable had been used to bypass safety circuits, allowing the elevator to move with its doors open. At number 1, we have September 11th. One of the most devastating elevator accidents in history occurred on September 11, 2001, during the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. It's estimated that approximately 200 people lost their lives in the elevators of the Twin Towers. As the buildings were struck, elevators plummeted, and fireballs tore through the shafts. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy content like this, please like and subscribe for more.
What is a coincidence? A simple twist of fate or something far more sinister? Today, we delve into the dark underbelly of reality, where chance and destiny intertwine in ways that defy explanation. We live our lives believing in the randomness of events. But what if this randomness is merely an illusion? What if every step, every decision, every chance encounter is part of a grand, unseen design? Coincidences challenge our perception of reality. They force us to question whether we truly have free will or if we're merely actors in a predetermined script. Statistically, coincidences are bound to happen. The law of truly large numbers states that with a sample size large enough, any outrageous thing is likely to occur. Throughout history, coincidences have shaped the course of human events in ways that seem too perfect to be chance. Welcome to a world where the improbable becomes reality. I'm your host Brian, and today, we're delving deep into the top 5 strangest coincidences ever. Number 5. The Tale of Two Dennis the Menaces. On March 12, 1951, 2 mischievous boys named Dennis the Menace debuted. One is in the UK, penned by David Law, and another is in the US by Hank Ketchum. Despite sharing a name and a penchant for trouble, these creators did not know each other. A mere coincidence? Or something more? The odds of 2 identical characters appearing on the same day across oceans are astronomical. Yet here they are, forever linked by fate. Number 4. The eerie September earthquakes of Mexico. September 19th holds a grim significance for Mexico. In 1985, a devastating earthquake struck, claiming over 10,000 lives. Fast forward to 2017, another quake hit on the same date, followed by yet another in 2022. 3 major earthquakes on the same day, a chilling pattern that defies explanation. Is it merely coincidence or a cosmic warning? Number 3. The uncanny survival of Violet Jessup. Violet Jessup's life reads like fiction. She survived not 1 but 3 maritime disasters. The Olympic collision in 1911, the infamous sinking of the Titanic in 1912, and finally, the Britannic in 1916. Dubbed Miss Unsinkable, Jessup's survival seems beyond luck. An eerie testament to human resilience, or perhaps something more sinister. Number 2. The dual deaths of Adams and Jefferson. July 4, 1826, a day etched in American history not only as Independence Day but also as the death date of 2 founding fathers, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Both men died within hours of each other on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration they helped craft. a coincidence that leaves us pondering their intertwined destinies. Number 1. The prophetic tale of Richard Parker. In Edgar Allan Poe's only novel, the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym, a shipwreck leads to cannibalism, with a victim named Richard Parker. Decades later, this fiction became reality when the yacht Mignonette sank. Stranded at sea, its crew resorted to cannibalism. Their victim? Richard Parker, a name plucked from fiction into horrifying reality. Was Poe's tale a mere story or an ominous premonition? As we conclude our exploration into the nature of coincidences, we're left with more questions than answers. Are they merely statistical inevitabilities, quirks of our pattern-seeking minds, or glimpses into a deeper, more unsettling reality? Perhaps the most disturbing possibility is that coincidences are all of these things simultaneously, random yet meaningful, chaotic yet ordered, mundane yet profound. They remind us that reality is far stranger and more complex than we can comprehend. In the end, coincidences force us to confront the limits of our understanding. They whisper of hidden connections, of unseen forces shaping our lives. And in doing so, they transform the world from a predictable, mechanistic place into something far more mysterious and terrifying. So the next time you experience a coincidence, ask yourself, is it truly random? Or have you just caught a glimpse of the grand, disturbing design that underlies all of existence?
Welcome to our spine-chilling journey through the world of Christmas horror. Today, we'll explore the top 5 Christmas-themed horror films that have left audiences terrified and ready to get festive. Get ready for a sleigh ride through snow-covered nightmares and holiday frights. Our first stop on this terrifying Christmas tour is one of the most controversial Christmas horror movies ever made, 1984's Silent Night, Deadly Night. Directed by Charles Sellier Jr., this film caused significant uproar upon its release. The idea of a killer Santa Claus was too much for many, leading to protests and the film being pulled from theaters. However, this controversy only fueled its cult status among horror fans. Silent Night, Deadly Night is notable for its unflinching depiction of violence. Unlike many slashers of its era, which often played kill scenes for laughs, this film presents the juxtaposition of these violent acts with Christmas imagery, creating a deeply unsettling atmosphere. The film's ending leaves the door open for the numerous sequels that would follow, but also serves as a chilling reminder that the cycle of violence and trauma is not easily broken. Silent Night, Deadly Night remains a controversial but influential entry in the Christmas horror genre. Its unflinching approach to violence and its subversion of beloved Christmas imagery make it a standout film, challenging viewers' perceptions of the holiday season. Our next film takes us to the frigid landscapes of Finland. Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. Directed by Jalmari Helander, this 2010 film begins with an American archaeological team unearthing something sinister in the Korvatunturi Mountains. Soon after, local reindeer herders start finding their animals slaughtered, setting the stage for a very different kind of Christmas story. What sets Rare Exports apart is its unique mythology. The film reimagines Santa's elves as feral, naked old men who are captured by the townspeople. These unsettling creatures are simultaneously comical and terrifying, embodying the film's off-kilter tone. Rare Exports blends horror elements with dry humor and action, as the townspeople must use their wits and resources to survive this twisted Christmas nightmare. The film's snowy, isolated setting adds to the sense of dread and helplessness. At its heart, Rare Exports is a coming-of-age story. Young Pietari must step up to save his father and his community, using his knowledge of Christmas lore to outsmart the ancient evil they've awakened. The film's ending takes an unexpectedly satirical turn, commenting on the commercialization of Christmas in a way that's both clever and unsettling. This finale cements Rare Exports as not just a horror film, but a smart critique of how we celebrate the holiday. Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale stands out in the Christmas horror genre for its unique mythology, dark humor, and clever subversion of holiday tropes. It reminds us that the roots of our Christmas traditions can be far darker than we realize. Moving into more recent territory, we have 2015's Krampus, directed by Michael Dougherty. This film brings a dash of dark fantasy to our Christmas horror lineup. Krampus centers around a dysfunctional family whose lack of Christmas spirit awakens an ancient demon. This horned, hooved creature is essentially the anti-Santa, punishing those who have lost the true meaning of Christmas. The film's inciting incident occurs when young Max, frustrated with his family's bickering, rips up his letter to Santa and throws it out the window. This act of lost faith summons Krampus and his minions, plunging the family into a nightmarish fight for survival. What sets Krampus apart is its imaginative and twisted take on Christmas imagery. Killer Jack-in-the-Boxes, murderous gingerbread men, and evil elves all make appearances, turning familiar holiday icons into instruments of terror. The design of Krampus himself is particularly noteworthy. When finally revealed in full, this towering, horned figure is a far cry from the jolly Saint Nick we're used to seeing. His appearance is both majestic and terrifying, embodying the film's balance of dark fantasy and horror. Krampus also stands out for its incorporation of actual folklore. The film draws on Central European legends about Krampus, giving depth to its monster and tying the horror directly to Christmas traditions. Despite its horror elements, Krampus doesn't forget the importance of family in Christmas stories. The ordeal forces the dysfunctional family to come together, adding heart to the horror and making the stakes feel even higher. The film's ending is particularly noteworthy, offering an ambiguous conclusion that leaves viewers debating long after the credits roll. This thought-provoking finale elevates this film beyond simple scares, encouraging reflection on the true meaning of the holiday season. Krampus successfully modernizes Christmas horror, blending traditional folklore with contemporary fears about losing the Christmas spirit. Its mix of humor, heart, and horror makes it a standout in the genre and a modern Christmas horror classic. In at number 2 is Bob Clark's Black Christmas, a pioneering slasher film that would influence the genre for decades to come. The film follows a group of sorority sisters who start receiving disturbing calls during their Christmas break. What begins as disgusting calls quickly escalates into a deadly game of cat and mouse with an unseen killer. Black Christmas uses its holiday setting to create a sense of isolation and dread. The cheerful decorations and twinkling lights serve as a stark contrast to the horror unfolding within the sorority house. This classic film is also notable for its sophisticated plot structure. The film interweaves the killer's story with a police investigation and various red herrings, keeping the audience guessing until the very end. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of Black Christmas is its portrayal of the killer. We never fully see him, only hearing his deranged voice and witnessing the aftermath of his crimes. This approach leaves much to the viewer's imagination, often more terrifying than any visual could be. The film also helped establish many tropes that would become staples of the slasher genre, including the final girl concept. However, Black Christmas subverts expectations even here, with an ending that's far from the typical triumphant conclusion. Black Christmas remains a masterclass in suspense and psychological horror. Its use of the Christmas setting as a backdrop for terror has influenced countless films since, cementing its place as a true classic of holiday horror. Our final stop on this terrifying Christmas tour is the beloved classic Gremlins. Released in 1984, Gremlins masterfully blends horror and comedy, creating a unique holiday experience that has stood the test of time. Directed by Joe Dante and produced by Steven Spielberg, this film takes the innocence of Christmas and turns it on its head. The film follows Billy Peltzer, who receives an unusual pet for Christmas, a cute, furry creature called a mogwai. However, this seemingly innocent gift comes with 3 crucial rules. Keep it away from bright light, don't get it wet, and never, ever feed it after midnight. Of course, these rules are inevitably broken, leading to a horde of mischievous, destructive creatures terrorizing the town on Christmas Eve. The Gremlins' antics range from comically absurd to genuinely frightening, creating a perfect balance of horror and humor. One of the most memorable scenes involves Billy's mother defending herself against the Gremlins using household appliances. This scene perfectly encapsulates the film's blend of horror and dark comedy. What makes Gremlins a quintessential Christmas horror film is its subversion of holiday tropes. The film takes familiar Christmas imagery, caroling, decorations, gift-giving, and twists them into something sinister and chaotic. The film also doesn't shy away from darker themes. In a now-famous monologue, Billy's love interest Kate reveals why she hates Christmas, telling a disturbing story that adds an unexpected layer of depth to the movie. The Christmas chaos culminates in an epic showdown in a department store, surrounded by Christmas decorations and toys, further emphasizing the film's twisted take on holiday cheer. This juxtaposition of wholesome Christmas imagery with horror elements is what makes Gremlins a standout in the Christmas horror genre. With its perfect blend of horror, comedy, and holiday spirit, Gremlins set the standard for Christmas horror films. It reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying gifts come in the cutest packages. Thank you for joining us on this tour of Christmas horror. May your holidays be merry, bright, and frightful. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.